It's the Jack
and Cathy
show.
Shit show.
And there we go.
Yeah,
okay, I think it. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, babe.
Hey.
Did Key say something was wrong with our song?
I would maintain that Key thinks I'm always doing something wrong with this shit.
Well, good thing it's not just left up to me. I am fresh out of the shower.
Look at you, all sexy with your hair akimbo.
All what?
Akimbo, all curly and wild and crazy. You just look like you had a good morning, babe. Boom.
Jack Honar, never a dull moment.
You know what I think I'm going to do this whole podcast? Every time we talk, I'm going to sing my responses.
All right.
What do you think?
Can you make them rhyme too?
I think I can rhyme all of the time. Give me a lime in my margarita.
Nice.
That was not scripted. That was really good, actually. It wasn't scripted.
So
my abs are so ripped-ed.
Ripped-ed.
I think I flipped-ed my lid. I'm going crazy. Don't call me lazy. It's too hazy outside.
Okay, can we be done with that game now?
Can we be done? This isn't fun.
Can we be done?
How come I picked this one? Says Cathy every morning, every day. That was pretty good too, wasn't it? Oh my God. I really should just go on stage. That's what I should do from now on, is just have people shout out shit and go on stage. And
that's like comedy, What's My Line?
Yes.
That comedy
I'd be
show?
so good at
you
that.
Would be,
oh my
you would
God.
be good. I'd be... I wouldn't think of anything.
Oh, you know, for the people that are listening, we got to get Amy and Joe. I combined them into one person.
Yeah.
We got to get Amy and Joe to listen to the podcast, because we were with them this weekend, and Pat and Sue. Yeah. And we were boating. Mm-hmm. And then they didn't know we had so many episodes of our podcast, which we got to get better at. We've been so busy with stuff.
It's been a little busy. We've had the gift of baseball in our lives, and now Alex's wedding is a week from Saturday, June 24th, and that's been very consuming. So a lot of other things have taken a back seat because we've had other focus, wonderful focus.
Yeah.
And
and the house has really just consumed us.
Oh my gosh,
we're just exhausted getting everything ready for the wed.
If anyone has heard us talk about the house before.
Talk about the house. It's bigger than a mouse.
We started.
Why are you wearing that blouse while we're working?
Okay, the blouse.
I couldn't think of anything.
Any
mouse,
song
blouse.
That has the word blouse in it is
Take off your blouse, come in my house. I'm going to give you my loving.
God.
But that sounds like a country song. That really does, doesn't it? I'll kick off my boots and lay down some roots.
That's better than blouse.
Well, no, but that's what they would say in a
Blouse
country
is a
song.
terrible-
I'm willing to bet you. Let's do a poll. People are going to say that was good. Take off your blouse. Come in my house. Take off your blouse.
House and blouse?
Well, it's really what country songs are terrible with that kind of. There's no alliteration with them. It's just straightforward. Drinking a beer. Glad that you're here. Just killed a steer and now we're eating. Right? There's no subtlety. There's no allegory. It's just blatant rhyming words. Anyway, we've been busy. We will podcast more, but I was getting back to Amy and Joe had said to us, what do you guys like? How do you have something to talk about for that many episodes? And it's funny because this morning,
and I probably said, have you just met Jack Honar?
Oh, stop it. Have you just met me? That's how I can be. Wild and free every morning. I gotta come up with a different rhythm from now on. I'll come up with another rhythm. Because I keep doing the same melody. Da 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 da. I'll fix it. I'll make it sadder.
Oh my God.
I sometimes feel so sorry for you.
Rightly so.
This is so everyone knows, aside from when I get crabby, which happens, and when I get crabby,
you
watch out.
You do get crabby, and you kind of had. This is interesting to talk about, actually.
Here we go.
Yeah, what I said our theme to be, our subject should be today. My brain is still not firing quite right. To anybody that's listening, I had a migraine yesterday.
Yeah, it's sad.
And I honestly believe, I mean, my brain can be a little slow on good days, but boy, during a migraine and the day after the migraine, I swear not all the cylinders are firing quite yet. So if I stumble on my words, it could be because of that. But in preparing...
Or the bourbon.
No, that sounds awful, actually.
So Amy and Joe were wondering what the hell we could talk about. They've been married 30 years.
Yeah, it was their 30-year anniversary the day we were with them.
We don't even know what to talk about on a daily basis. How the hell can you do a podcast? I'm like this all the time.
You are like this all the time. And
send donations to the Cathy Riley Fund.
Help me.
Help me, please.
Help. Okay. Are you going to talk?
Well, no. I was gonna lead it in and then give you the intro. So we were trying to figure out what to talk about today. And before we get started, though, I would really encourage everyone to listen to the last podcast and watch it on YouTube, if you could. So that was it.
Okay.
Because I really liked our last one. But anyway,
yes, it was.
You and I were driving
powerful.
someplace, and I had said to you, "God, I'm just in a funky emotional way," and then you asked me if my breasts were tender and if I felt swollen. No, I thought that's how it went. How did it go?
That just sounded awful. You know that, right? You didn't quite give enough information.
But that's what you asked me.
To make that make any sense whatsoever.
You said.
So you were having a very, how would you describe it? You were feeling emotional. You were feeling not 100%. You didn't have and not sick per se, but.
No, my mental game was
Your
off.
mental game felt off. You just felt off. And you were even saying that. And you and I have discussed before, and I thought we would make it a topic of the podcast, that it's very clear women have cycles, right? We have menstruation to even mark the cycle, but I feel very confident that men also have cycles. And you pretty much agreed with that, correct?
I thoroughly disagreed with you. I said
you did not.
My exact words were, "How dare you?"
Oh my God.
And then you were even using masculine stereotypes to define what women endure with their period. And I said, "How dare you generalize?"
Okay. None of that is true.
It's so bad right now because I'm so excited about the wedding. The house is clean, which always makes me feel better. We've chunked off a shit ton of projects, and you're just getting out of a fog from a migraine. It is the worst combination for a podcast right now because it's smart ass city here. And the funniest part about it is I see two of your friends going, "Jack, fucking chill." It's Aaron and Nancy. Both of them going, "End the podcast now." So let's start again. You were really mean to me and very judgmental.
Oh my God.
I agree with you. I think I've read that men have cycles too. We just don't have a pronounced.
Yeah, you don't menstruate, so you don't have this marker, this physical thing that your body puts out to tell you that that's this part of the cycle you're in. But I truly believe that you have those moments where you feel strong and you feel like you got your shit together and you're mentally super clear and you're motivated and you're happy and then you'll come around to a certain time of the month where you just feel vulnerable and maybe you're not thinking as clearly and you don't feel as confident about things, or you feel maybe just a little melancholy. And
now, are those, so I'm totally asking naive and ignorant questions. This is not me being a smart ass.
Yeah.
You'll see it in my eyes when I'm being a smart ass. So you nailed a couple of, if I were to identify what emotions I go through, the biggest one is loss of confidence. So normally, insanely confident, comfortable in almost any situation, and also very comfortable with vulnerability. I'm not trying to be deep into the pool right now because my brain is in the shallows like you have no idea. When I say comfortable with vulnerability, means admitting things that I don't know. I'm going, I don't know how to do that, and I'm okay with that, right? Is that fall into the category of vulnerability?
For sure.
I also overlay that all with confidence.
Yeah.
So confident enough to say I don't know something and I'm okay with it. And all right, you want to judge me or call me a douche or whatever, whatever label, I don't care. Right? I don't. It doesn't affect me. And then there's other times when that cycle appears where I will forget how to install something and go, oh, it's over, man. Like my brain's broken. Nothing's working. I just want to sit on the couch and watch a rom-com.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that similar to what women go through? Only yours includes menstruation, which has got to be a pain in the ass.
It is far more intense and overt. Its manifestation is more overt in our bodies.
Because you have more of a physiological thing too, right?
So, always with my cycle, there was the period where when leading up to it, I could eat like there was no tomorrow. I don't know if you notice a change in appetite sometimes, but the week before I would hit my cycle, I would eat like a pig and I would never get full. And I would try not to, of course, but I was very aware that I had this appetite that just would not go away, and I never felt full. And then once I was in my cycle, I couldn't give a shit about food.
Oh, really?
And I would eat very little. And so that's one way, but the emotional part of it too, totally could feel that my wick was very short with a lot of things.
God.
And then you're physically just achy. So you feel like I felt like my pelvic floor would crack open. Like it felt like there was a bowling ball in there and it would crack open. My daughter has terrible back pain.
Damn.
And then your boobs get tender, and it's just, and you feel fat, and it's just like, it just sucks. It just all sucks.
I don't have most of those things you described.
Yeah, I know.
My pelvic floor feels fine.
I'm glad. I am so happy for you and your pelvic floor.
Do you know that the mood I'm in right now, it is so challenging for me.
Should we just call cut and start this another time?
No.
We'll just put all of this into the blooper reel.
No, because this is us, right?
It is us.
So we got to be real. And when I was sick that one time,
that one time.
Well, we had a podcast when I was really sick.
Yeah.
We kept driving. We didn't stop.
And you were, how was it when you were sick? How was Jack?
We're not going there.
Yeah.
I am fighting the urge to be an utter smartass right now. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So you continue on. I'm sorry. So you wanted to talk about this.
I just thought it was something I have spoken to out loud with girlfriends in the past, and I just thought it might be interesting.
You haven't spoken to silently?
Yeah, I know. I always do that. I will always say I talk out loud, and instead of saying I think out loud. And I'll say in the car when you have your seats that have they warm up and have heat in them, I'll call them heat seaters.
Yeah. This is a challenge just for you.
I'm not doing well today.
You're not, and I'm on fire.
Should I just go away and you
Why?
can do this podcast?
No way. No one would listen. The moment you sign off, I stopped listening at the 15-minute mark. So you're doing better than I thought you would. So what is your big takeaway then? You were just...
Well, I think it's to recognize it and to recognize it in each other. I mean, certainly as a woman, I want you to recognize when I'm going, like if I have days where I'm just a crabby biatch, that maybe there's something in your brain that can go, you know what? This could be just that moment in time for her. And what?
What do you think I do when you're getting all crabby? It's the worst thing for anybody. I don't know why this is so funny to me, but when
you poke the bear, you poke
me. I so poke the bear when you're crabby. It's my way of trying to get you to not be crabby, but I do.
And I just want to rip your face off.
You have to admit, I don't cross the line though. I go right up to it. I knock like...
You must admit also that I am patient as hell.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I think we work so well together, because I can sense when you're... Let's just call it biorhythms now, right? Because I don't want to say...
Fair.
Or cycles
like
are good.
that.
I like cycles too.
Biorhythm.
So when your cycles are off and I can sense you're crabby, so everyone knows the worst thing that you can do is be crabby around me. Because I tend to be like, so what's the matter? What's the matter? You upset? You want to talk? Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What's the matter? What's going on?
But I don't do it. But I don't do it in a way that's really constructive. It's not. It's not.
I'm so glad you're admitting that.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't do it in a way that's constructive.
It's not when I'm going, hey, are you okay? You want to talk? And if you were to say no, I don't want to talk. Hey, that's fine.
You're just pouring kerosene on it, and that's not helpful.
Oh, it's so funny to me. It's so funny to go up to like
shit.
So Cathy and I, when we were first dating, so long ago, when we were first dating, I got really, really ornery and crabby because the pizza up in Milwaukee pales in comparison to Chicago.
And we picked up Elisa's Pizza on Oakland Avenue in Shorewood, and it wasn't that great. It
sucked,
that night.
and I was so in the mood for really good pizza, and I traveled up to see Cathy.
So annoyed by you that night. You were complaining so much.
I was so fucking crabby. That was my cycle. See, and you didn't respond well. You didn't recognize.
Could you not turn it into like talk with your little light voice, like, see, and that was my cycle. See,
I wasn't lisping. I was just being very tender right now.
It's very condescending that you go into that voice.
Do I sound like a woman then? Is that what you're getting at?
Oh, you're being such a dick right now. Oh my God.
All right, let me talk like this then. So I get this pizza. You know what I'm saying? So she gets this pizza, and it's fucking sucks. Up and down. Crust blows. It's supposed to be cheese and sausage, like a piece of sausage on it. It's the size of a dime, and I'm fucking livid. And Cathy can't handle it. For as much as she's patient, she has a very, very short wick. And I
think I had picked you up at the train station because you were we didn't own the house yet. I just picked you up at the train station, I had ordered Lisa's Pizza, and we stopped to pick it up, and all you could do was complain about it.
Okay.
Carry on.
So we've clearly established that I was a dick. I'll swim in my own shit. That's what makes me amazing. So where I'm going with this whole thing is because I do this now to Cathy. This is where I'm going with this whole point. The pizza sucks. I'm in a crabby mood. I took the train up. Cathy was probably late picking me up. We couldn't go straight home. We had to stop to get something at the store that she, quote unquote, needed.
Wait, now what are you making up?
It was all in my head at the time. So we get down, we go to eat the pizza, and I think we're just going to watch Monday Night Football. That was it. We're going to watch the Packers because that was the only game on, and we watch Monday night. The pizza sucks, and nothing's working, and I'm just really frustrated. It's not about her or anything else. I just had a bad day and likely had a cycle issue, right? Likely that's something that I wasn't identifying as. I'm just out of sorts.
Yep.
So Cathy then gets super mad at me. Don't need this shit. What's wrong with you? You're being overly crabby. And all of a sudden, all of my anger stopped. And I look at her. So that's the funny thing, so you guys understand. If I'm crabby and then she gets mad, it actually takes me out of being crabby, because then I can focus on, I can't believe I'm going to admit this, making fun of her. So now she's really crabby, walking around her kitchen of her condo, like stomping heavy feet. She comes back into the kitchen. I move really close and I take my finger to her nose and I go, boop. And I thought she was going to fucking kill me.
I grab a sharp knife and I cut off his finger.
So now whenever she's crabby, I just walk up to her and I go, boop. And it sets you off. So I'll do it once. I hope people watch this because your face right now is fantastic.
I'm having a correlation between my migraine episodes.
Stop it. You're already crabby at that point. I am maybe pushing you over the edge. Sure.
There it is.
But it's funny because you actually get me out of my funk because you get funked, and then my solution to stuff is humor. And so I can't make myself laugh in those moments, but when I see you disjointed, it then suddenly appears funny to me because truly you want to know what goes through my head? I'm disjointed. The world doesn't make sense. I'm crabby. Everyone should understand that. And when I see you or others get crabby, I go, what are you fucking worried about? We got a beautiful house, beautiful family. So it's almost like because I'm witnessing you, my stuff goes away like that. You notice that about me? Like if you're having that a struggled time, it's almost like this caretaker mode comes in. I'm like, we got this. What are you worried about? But then it gets worse for me because then I go, boop. Do you know what I mean?
I think I do. I think I can understand that shift when someone else's mood changes and it pushes you to play a different role, like caretaker role, like you said.
Do you admit this? Because I feel this and I could be wrong. Okay. I feel that when you're in a funk, it doesn't freak me out and I get into this really kind of fireman mode. When I'm in a funk, it worries you.
Well, when I'm in a funk, you notice you want me to figure it out right away. You want answers and you want to help. I know you want to help. You want me to get to the core of it. And sometimes I'm just too crabby to do that. Boop. But it really speaks to, so talking about this topic, what I ultimately want to make it, the subject I want to make with it, or the point I want to make with it, is that how we need to show up for each other in these different moments, you know?
I didn't know you were going there.
Well, yeah. It's like recognizing that the other person might be in just this cycle, and sometimes we press to figure out what's wrong, and sometimes we don't need to press. Sometimes we just need to let it float past, honestly, because it resolves itself. Because it can be a cycle, and for me in particular, if there truly is something wrong, I'm probably still processing. I'm a slow processor. You're a quick processor. And you do often hope that I can process more quickly to satisfy your need for the information and your desire to go into, fix-it mode, right? And meanwhile, I'm still processing. I'm not even ready to talk about it yet. It brings me also to the latest Brené Brown that we watched on Netflix. You were out of town in, where were you? You were in Indiana. And you said you've got to watch the Brené Brown on Netflix. It's on Netflix, right? And I did. One. Oh, is it an old one? Yeah. Oh, I hadn't seen it before.
Probably 5 years. Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. She's so good. She, I think what makes her a great speaker too is that she's very entertaining. The way she tells a story, and the way she gets you to laugh and giggle. And really the Netflix, can you tell about the Netflix episode? You'll summarize it better. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words today.
Not at all. I think you're doing kick-ass for real.
She was ultimately describing a story of her and her husband were ultimately looking at the same situation from completely different perspectives. And she had created a story in her head for what he must be going through and why he's making the choices he is and getting really pissed about it. And when she came to find out what was really going on for him, she just had a complete aha moment. for how she needed to show up for him in that moment.
It's called The Call to Courage on Netflix.
The Call to Courage. It was so good. So I highly recommend you watch it. It's just how to show up for your partner. And also Brene had another quick blurb I saw on social media where she talked about where she and her husband have started equating their days to what capacity they have for processing this day. And her husband will come home and say, bad day, I only got 10%. I got 10%, and
10% meaning energy for the relationship.
Or just to deal with anything
right.
or just capacity to handle anything. And her response to that was, I got you. I will show up. I will give you that grace, knowing you only have that 10%, and I will do what I can to support you in that day or that moment or that situation.
How do you feel about that? Because she also said this. I love that quote, by the way. Were you finished with your thoughts? Sorry.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Two questions for you.
Yeah.
I have two questions for you, Ms. Riley. One is, what do you think of her saying sometimes both people aren't at a strong enough number, where someone says, I'm at 15, someone else goes, I'm at 20. And then she said, what are we going to do now? How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Because that's real.
That is real. I think you and I have experienced that.
Well, the reason I ask is because there was one day when I told you I'm at like 15% right now. And
my
your
response was
I'm
like,
at 5.
I've got nothing for you.
You're like, I've got nothing. I went, oh, great. Thanks. The one moment I need you to hear.
You were looking for me to show up. The one moment
that I needed to hear, babe, I got you. Ain't gonna happen. It's like, oh, we just discussed about doing this the Brene Brown way, and already I'm in the fucking hole.
Fuck that.
How does it feel though, or is it just that moment?
You know what? To me, we're human. We're just. We're just
people
human.
Are people, so why can't we be?
I am so deeply flawed.
Oh.
And that's where you go, so am I.
Oh, so am I.
That's right. And I'm going to continue to not get it right, but I am going to continue to try and get it right.
You know, like resting your arm on my head is not getting it right, by the way.
It's not?
No,
it's very comfortable
feels
for me.
Uncomfortable to me.
Okay.
There we go. Got it better. Cathy was using my head as an armrest. And now I'm at about a 90. I was at 100 when we started this.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'll make up that 10%. I got you, babe.
Drop it.
Got you, babe.
I started singing a song again.
So that's what I think is so interesting, is to just have this constant awareness of how to show up for each other, and the fact that these cycles can very much be a part of it, and recognizing those cycles might help in just making you more conscious for how to show up. That sometimes those things can't be solved in the moment. Sometimes it's not I'm bleeding and I need a Band-Aid and that fixes it. It's sometimes.
Can I also add to this concept, because I really like what you're saying, and I want to add something I think is really important. Right now, I'm feeling that you're talking about how you as what's the right word I'm looking for? You as the partner recognizing your partner's struggling, and so we have to show up for that other person, right? Is that what I'm picking up from you? That when I'm going through my cycle, you're there to show up.
Or just a bad day, even if it's not the cycle, but the cycle can be a part of it, and recognizing that men can have those cycles too, where you just feel like fat and vulnerable and weak and And
I feel it's. I don't want to say it's 50-50, but I do want to say it goes both ways. I don't want it to be percentages, right? But it goes both ways, meaning let me say it this way. God, I'm all over the map now. I suddenly became Cathy Riley. I feel what works for us, let me say it that way. And if this is taken as advice for others, great. What works for us is not only that we recognize the other person, but that we communicate ourselves. Mm-hmm. So I'll even say, I'm not doing well today. Something's not clicking.
Yeah.
Right. And what you're better at me at is you'll say, do you need me for anything?
Yeah.
No, not right now.
Can I help?
Can I help? But you'll step away if I say, and I don't think so. Mm-hmm. Where I'm not as good as you is you'll say, I'm not feeling great today. And I'll go, what's going on? Let's examine it. Mm-hmm. Right. I'll take some time out for you. Mm-hmm. And I've got to get better at, I got to get better at giving you that space when you need it. However, I think what makes us so successful in our relationship is that we're willing to identify ourselves as as the cause or part of the cause of any grinding that goes on between us, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, we're choosing how to process and show up in a situation, and that truly is a choice.
Yeah,
right?
And it's not always you made me upset. It's more like I'm stressed right now. So
Right.
you've said it to me. We've been in the car and I've been really silly, shocker. Mm-hmm. And you said, "Hey, I'm not in a place to handle that right now." Mm-hmm. Right, mm-hmm. And instantly, now, admittedly, it just right brings me down. Mm-hmm. However, I don't need to get into a fight over something because you're feeling a certain way. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've learned with you that sometimes you just need that air as opposed to me going, well, get out of it. Let's go. What the fuck's your problem? Mm-hmm. I think that's where we do well. Is that kind of what you were getting at? Or how it's not just listening to your partner, but listening to yourself and sharing that with your partner, like getting to the core of it. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, but again, I'm not always able to get at the core of it like you are right away.
No, let me say this. Even your ability to say, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out, so I need space. That's huge.
Helps.
As opposed to, because I asked you to put the dishes away. Mm-hmm. Right? Because then my brain instantly goes to, what's going on?
Yeah.
It can't be about dishes.
Yeah.
Right? And you're able to say, I'm having a bad day right now, or I'm struggling. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. But to me, that's right there is the difference, as opposed to, well, you never put them away. And it's like even Esther Perel said, remember we listened to the Gottman stuff, that fights aren't about dishes. They're about loss of something, loss of control, loss of autonomy, loss of partnership, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, is that what you're getting at? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's all wrapped up in that.
Okay. Did I round this out well?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not having my cycle right now. I'm very happy.
Well, I am.
Well, you're just hungover from the, I don't know what else to call it, from the
migraine hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real. I mean, that's not fake.
Oh, it's so real.
Can you scratch my back though, babe?
Yeah.
I just got hugely dry skin on my back.
Okay.
Do you ever get that after a shower? You know, you put moisturizer on like your hands and face. I really need it on my back.
Well, do you use that scrubby thing?
Yeah, but that's still that loofah-y thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still feel like I need a lotion.
Probably do, but you want to get rid of the... Now we're turning this into a beauty podcast. You got to get rid of the dry skin first.
Beauty podcast with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the beauty expert.
That's long gone. I do like fashion. We can talk about that next. Want to do that? Next topic? Talk about clothes?
Okay.
Oh, I'd love to talk about clothes. Okay.
I need to get rid of a bunch.
I think there's something wrong with me because I like shoes more than you, I think.
Why is there something wrong with you?
Because I just love shoes.
Why is that wrong? See, isn't that interesting that you think that there's something wrong with you because you love shoes and you have a deep appreciation for especially colorful shoes?
Because like it's a misogynistic statement. It feels effeminate to say you like shoes. That's what that was, so I apologize.
Yeah.
See, I got to it. Boop.
Yeah.
Boop. Riley?
Honer?
We always end with a question.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to...
Do you have one?
No.
In mind?
I do.
Okay.
So Esther Perel, on one of her podcast things, has a bunch of game cards too, like the Gottmans have and all that.
Oh, she does?
She does.
Oh.
Only hers aren't free.
Oh.
Or the Gottmans are, so that's why we don't have it. But she was reading one. It said, everything changed when, which I read to Alex and Sam as part of prep for the wedding speech. Mm-hmm. So... I know it's right on my face. Isn't that funny? Mm-hmm. So everything changed when? Fill in the blank.
Everything changed when? Whew. I might have needed this one before. Do you have an answer?
No, I want you to go first. I don't have anything
I can't. You don't have anything yet?
No, just gut. Top of the brain. Anything that comes to mind.
Well,
everything for me changed when I went to Arizona. Everything. Everything changed.
I was thinking in correlation to us and our relationship. I was thinking about when everything changed. I think we had a big shift after that first really big fight we had.
That everything changed for you?
Yeah, I just think we got through that, and I think there was a big shift in...
Like listening and respect and...
our commitment to each other, and I think how we... because that fight was born out of you feeling like I wasn't paying attention to what your needs were. And then you made a drastic move and, left the party. And I was like, Jack, where are you? And that had consequences, right? And I felt like we had a blow up over that one. And I do feel like that was a shift for us where we both started to try to see where the other person is coming from. And I know I consciously didn't ever want you to feel ignored by me ever, especially when out in a group situation.
It's interesting. I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast, and we don't have to go through the whole detail, but you're right. There was something going on at a party at a family's house, and you were joining in with everyone. I'm like, I want to get going. Like, I'm not liking this. I'm feeling uncomfortable. Kept saying that. And then I remember I think it's so beautiful. I really mean this word beautiful, because it's the first time ever that I think we both were right in our emotions. Mm-hmm. And then we both went, I can totally see the other person's side. Mm-hmm. So let me see if this language works. I felt that I was right in my emotion, but I responded poorly. Mm-hmm. Right? My emotion was valid, because you can't take that away. And your emotion was valid. Mm-hmm. And we both responded poorly. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And that was a time for both of us to then go, fuck this shit. Right? You could have even said, chill, dude. Mm-hmm. But instead, I remember saying to you, I feel terrible for the choices I made. It was the wrong decision. I'm still hurt. Mm-hmm. I handled it poorly. You still hurt me. Yeah. Right? And you went essentially the same thing. Yeah. Right? I've got to get better at listening to you in those moments. I got to get
better at paying attention.
But boy, don't do that again.
Right? I got caught up in, the fun of the party. I thought you were having, whatever. Yeah. And I wasn't listening well.
But do you agree that
I feel bad about that?
Right. That's what's amazing, is that we both felt a different layer of hurt. Mm-hmm. And I like that that's when everything changed, because we really did get super strong after that. It was hard to go to bed that night. Yeah. Right? It was scary. Yeah. And then the next morning, we actually were really good. That's a good one. I didn't think about that as everything changed. Mm-hmm. The reason I picked Arizona is because it made me a stronger person to be able to meet you. Yeah. By me leaving everything, it made me really settle into myself. And so I wouldn't be the person I am had I not done that. Yep. But I like that one. I like yours a lot more than mine. I really do.
I like yours too.
All right, baby.
It's good. All right.
All right. So we're going to podcast again later this week, because we got a wedding coming up in a week.
Oh, my God.
Where's the roof?
Alex and Sam.
All right. On that note, peace. Jack and Cathy Shit Show outro take 652.
You should start off laughing. You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show.
Our senior producers are me.
Hey, and me.
This episode was produced, engineered, and mixed by
the amazing Key Honar.
Email your questions, comments, or interesting relationship stories to jackandcathyshitshow@gmail.com. That is Cathy with a C.
Be sure to follow and like our marvelous shit show on Instagram and TikTok at Jack and Cathy Shit Show. Apparently liking and following is a thing.
It is?
Yeah.
This episode was produced by Pint Productions 2022. Point!